lit. You dealing with a young 20-year-old conniving, manipulative, low-down, white. I'm talking about a dirty. You all know better, Shannon. Much as you talking, like you say you won't even get on the elevator with a woman by yourself. How you at the gym and you let this 20-year-old, damn near teeny bop, little old young white bitch get you 50.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted it to be about him, and I wanted it to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way.
Sharpe, he really don't like me. I done call all the football players, man, big old dumb stupid. So I done offended and insulted everybody. Yeah. But you gotta understand, homie, I done said some horrible things about Dion and the boys. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this an alumni.
Yeah, that's why.
I said some horrible things about Dion is the modern day Bill Cosby and them boys is Theo Huxtable and yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's the modern day of that. This is who we, so we idolize this family. Dion is the ideal father in the black community. This is, yeah. So, and here I am attacking him in his toe in it.
Man, Charleston White just went full blast on Shannon Sharpe. And trust me, he didn't pull a single punch. After that rumored $23 million hush payout and his sudden ESPN exit, Charleston's talking reckless. He's straight up saying Shannon brought this on himself. And yes, it's all supposedly over a snow bunny. Now, the internet is running wild with it. Shannon's name is everywhere and the drama's boiling over. If you've been keeping up, you've already seen the chatter. Shannon's out at ESPN right after quietly settling a massive $50 million lawsuit.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted it to be about him, and I wanted it to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN.
And let's be real, a lot of people saw this storm coming from a mile away. Folks have been murmuring for months that this whole Gabriela Zuniga situation was way messier behind the scenes than it looked in the court papers. You remember that lawsuit from the OnlyFans model? She claimed Shannon assaulted her, left her with deep emotional scars, and even allegedly put his hands on her. That's the type of heat that's nearly impossible to walk away from spotless.
Need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass, get your old out there that can love you. You're trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Then, out of nowhere, she drops a phone recording of her and Shannon, and it had everybody's ears ringing. And here's the kicker. In that clip, he didn't exactly sound like a man with clean hands. According to her, his tone was loud, aggressive, and straight up intense.
I say you're just gonna get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a to me now, so.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Giving off that real wild, confrontational vibe. This whole thing's got people side-eyeing him harder than ever. And just like that, Shannon jumped online with his I ain't do nothing speech, quick, polished, and dripping with denial. He called the whole situation a flat-out shakedown, claiming that everything between him and Gabriella was completely consensual. No hesitation, no wavering, just him trying to set the record straight in front of millions of eyes. But he didn't stop there. Shannon decided to flip the heat right back on attorney Tony Busby, accusing him of running a long-term play to target wealthy black men with big names. He even threw in the receipts, pointing out that Busby's gone after Jay-Z, Diddy, and now him.
It's all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down.
And vowed he was ready to fire back with a massive defamation countersuit. That's a bold promise, but the timeline tells another story, because here's where things take a twist. After all that tough talk, word is Shannon allegedly coughed up $23 million just to make the case disappear. Behind closed doors, sources say the settlement was handled quietly, away from the cameras, but the whispers are loud, and it gets juicier. Insiders claim Shannon first dangled $10 million in front of Gabriella when the lawsuit first hit, but she turned it down cold, telling people she had proof and receipts that could sink him. Now fast forward, and the story goes, she's cashing out with that full $23 million, deleted her OnlyFans account, and vanished from the scene with the ultimate bag. Charleston White's been eating this up, blasting Shannon at every turn, calling him out and pressing the question that cuts like a knife. If you're really innocent, why pay enough money to buy a mansion in cash just to keep her quiet?
Oh, no better, Shannon. Much shit is you talking, like you say you won't even get on the elevator with a woman by yourself. How you at the gym and you let this 20-year-old, damn near teeny bop, little old young white get you 50 mil? You offered a pink toe Peckerwood 10 million. Boy.
If this was just some kind of setup, Charleston wasn't letting Shannon off the hook. He hit him with his own words like a hammer. He reminded everybody that Shannon has publicly said for years he doesn't even step into an elevator with white women just to avoid any kind of false accusation or messy drama. But now, out of nowhere, he's in the gym, sweatpants on, no drawers, letting a 20-year-old snow bunny lean all up on him. Charleston said straight up, the math ain't mathing. In Charleston's eyes, Shannon sold out a long time ago. He says the man left the black hood behind, stopped rolling with the people who kept it real, and swapped it all for fitted suits, bright TV lights, and that polished corporate smile. He thought walking in boardrooms instead of back alleys meant he was untouchable. But Charleston claims the game's clapping back harder than ever, and Shannon just got caught in the middle of it. Then Charleston really pressed the blade, calling Shannon flat out foolish for thinking he could outslick the kind of people who make a living off flipping situations.
With the game. That's why I stay at the strip club with real. When you dealing with whole problems, you ain't got these problems. You dealing with these little just trying to hit a lick. You dealing with a young 20-year-old conniving, manipulative, low-down, white. I'm talking about a dirty funk.
He said instead of sticking with women who know the unwritten rules, hood chicks, strip club dancers, the ones who can move quiet, he went chasing after the one woman who had everything to gain by turning the tables on him. And now, here we are. Lawsuit headlines everywhere, social media buzzing nonstop, and Shannon's name forever tied to one of the most embarrassing and messy scandals in his career. Charleston's saying loud what a lot of people are thinking. This wasn't just a bad choice, it was the choice that brought the storm straight to his door. Yeah, Charleston broke it down plain. Gabriella ain't even the same woman from Shannon's messy IG Live fiasco last September. That alone, Charleston says, is the smoking gun at us. This isn't a random slip-up. This is a pattern of behavior. And now, Shannon's in the public eye, switching up his tone, offering apologies and trying to play the victim like he just got blindsided by bad luck. If your ear's been close to the ground, you already caught wind of Shannon's apology after ESPN showed him the door. He went live looking dead serious, almost somber, and the first thing out of his mouth was asking his brother Sterling for forgiveness, saying he stole his moment because ESPN let him go right before Sterling's Hall of Fame induction. That's a heavy moment for any family, and Shannon was basically admitting he overshadowed it with his own drama. Then he turned to the fans, saying he was sorry for messing up and letting them down. But here's the thing, he never spelled out exactly what he messed up. So the streets started talking, wondering if that apology was about way more than losing a TV gig. Charleston, he wasn't touched by any of it. He called the apology medicine after death, meaning it's way too late to fix the damage. And he made it clear, Shannon had been warned over and over. Monique had told him straight to his face to leave those young girls alone because the second he slipped, they'd pounce. And if that wasn't enough, even Cat Williams went on Club Shay Shay and told him, Shannon, leave them white girls alone. Charleston's framing it like Shannon had every lifeline thrown at him, every caution sign flashing, but he swerved right past them. And now, the fallout isn't just here, but Shannon? Man, he brushed it off like it was nothing, carrying himself like he was bulletproof, like nobody could touch him. In his mind, he was running the whole game. But Charleston, he says the truth is way different. Shannon wasn't the player at all. He was the puppet. Strings pulled by the network, smiling for the cameras, believing he was in control when the game was actually being played on him. Charleston's never been a fan, not even for a second. He swears Shannon's had a little bitterness toward him from the start. Not over some personal incident, but because Charleston's the type to speak raw, loud, and without a single filter. For years, he's been calling out NFL players, straight up saying they're big, dumb football players who don't see the bigger picture. And he didn't stop there. He took shots at Deion Sanders, too, calling him a modern-day Bill Cosby. In Charleston's eyes, these men are all trapped in that fake, perfect TV family act, selling an image to the cameras while turning their backs on the real culture they came from. Shannon, according to Charleston, hated that energy. He didn't like that Charleston was saying the kind of things he would never risk saying on air, keeping it gritty, keeping it street, while Shannon kept himself tucked in a tailored suit, chasing corporate approval. But Charleston, he's made it clear he'll speak his mind no matter whose feelings get burned in the process. And now Charleston says the bill for all those choices is due, and it's steep. This isn't just about losing his ESPN job. Insiders are claiming Shannon might have blown a massive $100 million media deal because of all this scandal. One slip, one situation he couldn't spin his way out of, and now that corporate safe image he worked so hard to protect might be falling apart right in front of everyone. And just when you thought this saga couldn't get any messier, the street talk is saying this might not even be the end for Shannon. Word is, there's more dirt floating around. Stuff that never made it into court filings or ESPN statements. Charleston's hinting that certain folks have been sitting on even worse receipts, waiting for the right moment to drop them. He's painting the picture like this. Shannon's already lost his job, maybe tanked a $100 million deal, and coughed up that alleged $23 million settlement. But there's still people out here who smell blood in the water. And if they decide to go public with what they've got, this could get way uglier than anything we've seen so far. Charleston says the danger for Shannon is simple. Once people realize you'll pay to make problems disappear, every person with a grudge or a story suddenly sees a payday. And in his words, that ain't a reputation you want in this game. He even compared Shannon's situation to past sports figures who thought they could outspend the rumors, only to watch their careers burn down piece by piece. Meanwhile, social media is not letting up. Clips of Gabriella, old IG Live videos, and Charleston's rants are being stitched together into viral montages that rack up millions of views overnight. And every time Shannon's name trends, it's tied to scandal, not sports. Charleston's not letting this thing fade. In fact, he's turning the screws even tighter. In his latest live stream, he claimed people in Shannon's own circle are starting to flip on him. According to Charleston, a couple of folks who used to ride with Shannon have been quietly feeding stories to bloggers just to get their slice of the spotlight. And the way Charleston tells it, once the people closest to you start talking, you're finished. He broke it down like this. Shannon's been living in two worlds. In one, he's the clean-cut, suit-wearing TV personality. In the other, he's still moving like he's untouchable, ignoring every warning sign. Charleston says you can't straddle those two lives forever without paying for it. Eventually, he said, the real you slips out and the cameras don't miss it. And then came the real bomb. Charleston claims there's video footage out there that hasn't been released yet. He wouldn't say who's got it, but he hinted it could make that $23 million settlement look like lunch money. Whether he's bluffing or not, the streets are eating it up, and now everyone's on edge wondering what could possibly be worse than what's already out. Meanwhile, Shannon's been silent for days, which only makes the rumors grow. Every minute he doesn't speak, more people start believing Charleston's version of events. And Charleston, he's doubling down, saying if Shannon doesn't address these new whispers head on, the next headline could be the one that ends him completely in the media game. He was risking it all over a snow bunny. And let's be real, Shannon wasn't just some regular sports analyst. Nah, this man was a full-blown brand. He had hit podcasts, endorsement deals, TV appearances, a media presence that was printing him money every month, but now all of it's shaking, slipping through his fingers, all because he didn't stop for 2 seconds to think about the risk. One wrong move with the wrong woman, and the empire he built is looking like it's about to crumble. The streets are loud right now, and they're not holding back. Folks are saying Shannon gave up more in that lawsuit than he ever made playing in the NFL. The roasting is brutal. People online are clowning him, saying he paid an OnlyFans model like she was a Super Bowl MVP. And the crazy part, a lot of them believe this whole mess could have been avoided if he just kept his ears open and followed the old school street rules that never fail. But nope, Shannon wanted young, sharp, and pretty, ignoring every warning sign. And now the result's out here for the whole world to see. One dude online went straight for the jugular. He paid her more than he made in his whole NFL career. No way he's not guilty of something. Another post blasted him. Shannon, this could have all been avoided if you'd listened to Kat and Monique. And then you've got the blunt crowd with one user flat out saying he still doesn't get it. SMH. Sometimes you gotta learn when to just stay quiet, but Shannon didn't. And now here we are. The truth that's hitting people hardest isn't even the rumored $23 million he paid out. It's knowing that everything he built, every single brick of that post-NFL empire, now has a crack running straight through it. And in this game, cracks don't get patched up easy. Not when your reputation's bleeding, and especially not when the streets aren't riding for you anymore. Now everybody's asking the same thing. Did Shannon play himself chasing the wrong type, ignoring all the warnings, and thinking he was too slick to get caught? Or is Charleston just doing what Charleston does best, stirring the pot until the whole kitchen's boiling? Is this karma knocking on Shannon's door, or was it a setup from the start? Either way, this chapter is one for the books, and it might just be the one that defines the rest of Shannon's career. But that's my take. Now I want to hear yours. Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Tell me where you stand on this whole mess. And if you rock with real talk, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and tap into the next video on your screen. We're just getting started, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.